Do you have the time to
To
listen
listen to me
to me whine
whine about
about nothing and
and
everything
everything all
all
at
at once?
once.
There's a slight delay. Sorry.
You may, yeah. For there's a
It
number of
might
things
be
we're gonna talk
delayed a
about.
bit.
It might be, but I think it'll be fine.
Damn.
It's
If we
good.
were together, this might be different. It might work out a little easier.
Yeah, it's we're
Then
having
I
a
could harmonize with
snowmageddon
you, but I
here.
can't now.
Yeah, we're having a
Whatever.
snowmageddon, guys. So we're doing this via
Hey,
Zoom. But
it is Snowmageddon in the NEO,
in the
the Northeast
NEO,
Ohio.
bitches, why did we start? Oh, but by the way, this is the Booze, Boobs, and Blood podcast. I am Ray.
I'm Ween.
And why did we start the podcast in that beautiful melodious tune?
Well, I'll tell you.
You tell me. You tell me, girl.
That's the song Basketcase by Green Day. First Green Day song I ever heard and video. I loved the
Really?
video for some reason. It weirded me out in a cool way, and I was like, I dig it. It's interesting. Um, First Green Day song I ever heard. Um, and it's because the movies we reviewed today are parts 1 and 2. There is a third that we did not.
we'll
Parts
talk
1 and
about
2.
the
We'll get there.
we'll get
Of the
there.
movie Basket, 2 words, Basketcase. Which Ray made me watch. She made me watch.
This is the culmination or finishing up of our hashtag New York's Eve month.
Yes.
And then so I'm excited about it. I'm excited to talk about these movies. I mean,
I'm more excited about next month, to be honest. But
oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, these have moved really close up to the pantheon of awesomely bad movies that I love, and I will come back to these. Definitely.
I definitely agree with you there. Spoiler alert. I agree with you there because, like, after after some of the movies we watched, after some of the shitty Halloweens and some of the shitty that crappy Black Christmas thing movie, the remake, quote unquote, that pissed me off to high heavens, I needed a good laugh.
Yeah.
And this did not disappoint.
Oh my God, no. Especially number 2. Holy God. And we were actually starting to watch it together, and something came up, but we couldn't finish it together. And we both finished it separately today. And I was like, oh, I wish, because
I know.
Tears
really should have finished
pouring down my face. I'm screaming in my house.
So damn funny.
But
oh my God.
So I got a question.
I finished it like, I don't know, 2 minutes before you did. Maybe.
Yes, yeah,
like
because
5 minutes before you did, and I'm like, just you wait.
I know. She sent me some Hamilton. I was so excited. It's really funny because I was sent somebody this week. The CEO for the company I work for was like, you guys are going to be in, like, as was referenced in Hamilton, or the room where it happened. I was like, I started getting excited. The room where it happened. The room where it happened. Oh, are we musical theater nerds or what?
A bit.
Smidgen. I mean, I think we haven't referenced Oklahoma. We haven't referenced.
Oh my gosh, what haven't we referenced?
Hey, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What tickled your pickle this week?
As much as we're complaining about it right now because we're separated. I love the snow. I know I'm among a few crazy people that actually enjoy the snow, but I feel like I am living in the right area to like it, because we get a lot. We get a lot of so if anybody's not familiar, if anybody listening that aren't our friends, like that don't already know us,
you can be our friends if you'd like to.
I mean, that would be great.
Open people, like,
I'm totally cool with it. But like, if you're not familiar, if the very one of you out there is not familiar with Northeastern Ohio, we're right on the lake, Lake Erie, and so science, when we get lake effect snow, which means the some of the precipitation that comes up from the lake when it's not completely frozen, which it isn't right now because global warming, yay, goes up into the clouds and whatever, and then dumps. It kind of actually skips inland a little bit
Mm-hmm.
and dumps on what we call the snow belt. We're just north of it, but we still get pounded with snow pretty well anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so how much
Pounded.
snow
Pounded like
that we've gotten?
Belial pounds that thing in this movie.
Oh, bleh. God damn it. I knew that was coming. So yeah, it's like I swear we've gotten at least 36 inches. I swear.
Oh, so,
At
yeah,
least.
because this week I went and I had to have someone plow my driveway because I couldn't get out
Mm,
and I couldn't shovel
uh,
it because it was heavy
I
too.
had to leave
Up
early
to my
last night because I had to have someone plow my driveway. I can say whatever I want officially because my boyfriend confessed to me that he does not listen to this podcast. So I'm like, I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want. Fuck you.
Yeah, well, this will be the one he does listen to, and that'll be
Yeah,
great.
exactly. Wouldn't that be funny? Be like, oh shit. I don't know why I keep switching glasses. I'm sorry. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, so snow, you like snow.
I like the snow. It's pretty. It's more pretty when I don't have to drive in it, but
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty. How about you? I just sounded
Um,
like a Canadian just now. How about you?
I boot it.
How about it?
I have to say, I have had some fun times. I mean, obviously, watching Basketcase with you was hysterical, and
Oh my gosh,
honestly,
yes.
we recorded last night Chicklet, and I said that honestly, watching Basketcase in our group chat was like one of my highlights of the week. Um,
Oh,
I'm
me
also gonna say
too. It was fun and eating butternut squash soup together.
yes.
That was good.
The other thing that kind of like I took a header. I took an absolute header into that YouTube guy's page, and I was just like, I want to go to all of these haunted houses.
Oh
So
yeah, you were showing me some yesterday.
yeah, and I know I'll probably pee my pants, but but I want to go
Depends.
so bad. Yeah, boop. Caesar, you later. Anyhow,
Oh,
go and
dope.
but the offshoot of that is when you start diving into these like these YouTubers or these vloggers or whatever, is you become like, you feel like them or not know them, you get like
Yeah.
an idea of their personality, which at the same time then you realize that people are really invested in these people's lives, like to the extreme, like to,
Oh
you're like,
wow.
wow. Like I noticed that this one guy was like, oh, I don't know, I wonder if he's still married because he's not wearing his ring. That's all. That was as surface level as I got. But
Okay.
I started
Okay.
typing his name in to like go to his page, and it was like his name and wife came up. I was like, no. And so I went to that one, and there was this guy who posted a video that his wife posted, and it was like talking about their divorce. I was like, oh my god, this is like the dark side of all. I mean, hello, yes, Ray, welcome to the internet.
And
But
yes.
I was like, oh god, this could be anybody. Like this could
Yep.
be any, it could be a podcaster, like that sort of thing. Like, wow,
Yeah.
people need to get
This
a
is
life.
well, but this is
Also
also
mind your
the
own business too.
but this is also like that in particular, like divorce and stuff like that. Unfortunate as it is, that shit is public record. Not a domestic violence case, mind you, for obvious reasons, or anything dealing with like children. That and like juvenile cases and domestic violence cases are not public record, but divorces or dissolutions or whatever.
Well, I don't think it's so much that is like, because I don't even know this guy's last name. So it's not even
Right.
looking, it's the fact that it's like these people had an opinion about their divorce. And I was like, this isn't
Okay, wait.
People magazine, guys. Like this
Because
isn't
right.
like,
Because everybody has it a bit
the
right.
Inquirer. Right. I was, yeah, they have a right to privacy. And I'm like, whatever. I mean, if the person puts it out there, then that's on them. But I'm like, wow, this is the
Sure.
dark side of this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
little
So
that's a little much.
it was kind of like it soured that pickle a little bit, but I
Yeah.
got excited because I found a haunt for us in February. So I'm very
Yeah.
excited.
We have to go. That'll be so much fun.
It'll be super fun.
Road trip, as long as it doesn't snow. Merp.
Mm,
Well,
probably
snow
will.
too much.
So you want to talk about these two things here?
Yeah, let's fucking do it.
Why do you always sound
I'm not.
literally pulling your teeth to do it.
I'm not. I'm really not. I really did have fun with these. Yeah, let's do here. Take 2. Use this. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yay! Okay.
All right.
We're back.
Back to fight the evil. We will never change you. Okay. All right.
Baby, we're back.
Baby forward. Okay. Basketcase, 1982. Middle of the
Picture it.
picture it. Disgusting New York City. 1982. Right before Giuliani's New York, where he moves all the prostitutes out. Because there were some prostitutes in this movie too.
To Staten Island.
Staten Island. He was not too excited about going out to Staten Island in the second one.
No, nobody is.
Oh.
In the first 5 seconds of this movie playing, what do we see, Ray? What do we see?
Presented with
preserved
and presented.
Yes.
By the Museum of Modern Art. By MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art.
Yeah, cool. Which, okay, I can buy it. Because how many times do we talk about, like, part of the thing that we like about horror movies, or that I like about horror movies, is the special effects, the makeup. That is art. This is film as an art form, and horror is a genre of film. And, part of that involves a lot of effects and makeup. And it's very artistic and creative, surprisingly, to, come up with what you need to use to create the illusion or the effect of what you're presenting. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I got it. Did I just lawyer that? Did I just win?
You did. I felt it.
Lawyered.
Well, we were watching the second one, and you asked me something, or you said something, and you are correct. I just want to talk about. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about the puppetry in this, and because there's a lot of puppetry. So in Belial, who's the conjoined twin, separated twin of Dwayne, our protagonist.
Yeah.
In addition to providing a face cast for the Belial puppet, Kevin Van Henterick also performed the mutant's twin voice effects.
Yes, I knew it. Because it's supposed to be. This was something I'd brought up because. Look, they're supposed to be Siamese twins, and there are some points, not a lot, some points where I'm like, I swear they look alike, and I'm like, duh, they're supposed to be twins.
Yeah.
They're only one looks more like a giant tumor, and the other is just.
We have a list of things that Belial looks like.
A laundry list. He looks like rotten cauliflower, like fucking.
We will get there, man.
We'll get there. In the beginning.
Yeah. So, I just want a couple.
Finish production.
So, the film started on a $16,000 budget, ended on a $35,000 budget.
That's still not bad.
For 1982, no, it's not. I mean, even that,
that's not bad.
For what shows up on the screen.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say, I think it's better production than Trauma films.
Oh yeah. It's somewhat akin in its campiness, but the quality is a little better. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that there's not much, but I think what it is with why is this doing this? For some reason, there we go. I think for some reason that it's like well, I'll give you an idea. So they actually made a cut of this film to appeal to more of a comedy crowd. So they actually the distributor cut all the gore out, and with the film, which to me it's like, well, did you even have a film? Did you even have 90 minutes? Because this is really stretching to make 90 minutes to make an actual full-length feature. Yeah. So what we see now is the full uncut version. But I think that it is funny enough on its own. For real. I'm looking to see if there's anything else. According to writer-director Frank Hennenlotter, he was emboldened to make the movie because he believed that no one would ever see it. He claims to have been horrified when it became a success. More than 30 years after its initial release, it remains a cult classic. Most of the credits that appear at the end of the film are fake. The crew was very small, and rather than repeat the same names over and over again, they just decided to make up names.
Fuck that. I would want my name. If I worked on that, I'd be like, I want it there and there and there. I brought donuts last Friday. I did
catering. Hello,
right.
craft services. So, in an interview in the 16th issue of Fangoria, Hennenlotter stated, "I hate to admit this, but anytime you hear a woman walking, that was me in high heels. The sound effects were all loops later and created mainly by Hennenlotter and producer Edgar Ivans."
Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah, and this one, I love this little bit of trivia is that cult film critic and guru, I like that he's called that, Joe Bob Briggs, my buddy Joe Bob Briggs, has often praised as Basketcase as a masterpiece of exploitation cinema, and was a fervent supporter. Yeah, that if you wanted to put that in a nutshell, this was exploitation to. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
And Beverly Bonner, R.I.P.D. She just passed away in 2020.
Oh, did she?
Mm-hmm. She was really like a very central figure in New York City, especially New York City theater and comedy, because she owned a theater that she would let like new comics come in, and like a lot of podcasts would perform at her space, but she was pretty much a central figure. Like she didn't do much acting after this, but she definitely was a staple in the community, in the theater community after this. And it was sad that she passed, but because she was young. The production ran out of funding halfway through shooting. To further economize the film, remaining crew members started doubling for various roles behind the scenes.
Again, explains a lot.
Right. Right.
Explains a lot. That's the thing. It's something we noticed too in this and the sequel, and even the trailer we watched for the third movie. There's a lot of the same people involved, so it's kind of like it makes sense that all these people wore all these different hats for the first movie, and they're like, "Want to do a second? Yeah, sure. Why the heck not?" And like, it seems like they were like a little family.
Yeah, and that's kind of what Trauma's like
it to
too.
me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, what the hell? That sounds like
fun. I would like to talk. I have a piece of trivia that I'd like to bring up when we talk about Dwayne's naked run through New York City.
Good streaking!
Oh wow, here's something. This is interesting. The bar scenes that were shot in an S&M club in Manhattan is not, so the ones where he goes and meets with Casey or drinks with Casey is now known as the Hellfire Club. So interesting.
Say that again.
So the bar scenes that were shot in this movie, like where he goes to meet with, or like Casey finds him, that's now known as the Hellfire Club in New York City. It was an S&M club at the time.
Makes sense. That's pretty sweet. I like that.
Yeah. And we could talk. There's another thing about the ending. There's what the original ending included. So when we get to that, remind me. Frank Hennenlotter got this idea from Larry Cohen's It's Alive. Larry Cohen also did The Stuff, which I watched recently, and it's another one of those comedy horror movies. Like It's Alive to me is kind of a comedy horror movie. But yeah, I mean, I can see it being a All right, let's get into this. Oh, we have an 80s? How much did I say that was on Rotten
83? 82? Well, it was made in 82. No, I thought it was in the 60s. Like 60%.
We're looking up the Rotten Tomatoes score.
We're really research intensive, you guys.
Yeah, things I should have done earlier. Yeah.
All the there's a lot. to go
There's
through.
a lot. So it is 76, which is not bad. I mean, honestly, there's
That
only
isn't
25
bad.
reviews, but this is really not bad at all. I mean, I think unfortunately Ghostbusters Afterlife only had like 69 or something like that. So I'm gonna take it.
What?
I'm gonna
That
take
seems
it.
like highway robbery.
A lot of people didn't like it. It's fine. It's their journey. My journey's different. Okay. Girly girl, do you want to start this? Because I know you are. There's one thing I do want to say right off the bat. Does it not feel like everybody in this like movie is like 20 seconds away from being either sexually assaulted or starting a porno?
Yeah. I find with these like low budget films that sometimes it's kind of it's what do I want to say? It's a fine line.
There's a director, David DeCoteau, and he makes movies such as A Talking Cat and Santa's Summer House, and he films on porn sets, and he has made some like I think gay softcore before, and like in his family, quote unquote family films, it feels like every second like someone's just gonna fuck, like I'm just waiting for someone to fuck, and never happens. It's just Eric Roberts doing the voice of a cat. Anyhow.
What is that?
Yeah, I catch it sometimes. It is fantastic. Anyhow.
What is it?
It's called A Talking Cat. And the reason I do it that way is because it has a question mark and an exclamation point.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So let's start this thing. Tell me what your first note is here.
Some dude, parentheses doctor, trying to leave his house, is stalked by a disembodied mouth breather.
Oh yeah.
The shadow is like chasing him, and he's like terrified, running around his house. He's trying to get out and goes back in and tries to make a phone call. The phone line is cut, and all he hears is.
Well, my first note was, why is the doctor at this place? Oh, it's his house.
It's his house, right?
No,
house.
Yeah.
He
starts shooting wildly at these shadows.
A shadow, and he wastes all of his bullets. Like guns have a limited capacity, right? They're not infinite. This ain't Star Wars. And
pew pew
pew pew. And he is killed by a creepy Muppet hand. P.S. Makeup effects are awesome.
Yes. Yes.
So he's like this disembodied hand, like reaches up at his waist, and cut.
Yeah, and then we
print it.
Yeah, cut it. So we cut to New York City. We get Dwayne with this amazing. I can't even. I have Greatest American Hero, but I don't think that's what it is. It's like Tom Hanks. I'm walking on you. It's like Tom Hanks in Bosom Buddies hair.
Oh yeah, no, I called him. I said some Tim Curry wannabe walking around with a giant basket.
See, yep.
Like, I was like Tim Curry, a la Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, like I love that he's literally just walking down the middle of Times Square with this big old basket, and no one's batting an eye. If someone's trying to sell him weed, I was like, wow. Okay, it was a different time, New York. It was a different time. So he shows up at this, but he stops into the first hotel he comes across, the Broslin Hotel, and there is a rogues gallery of cronies in this like. There's the guy eating a comically large sandwich. There is the guy that's Donovan. And
Donovan.
Donovan. I'm sorry. Can't act.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The hotel, by the way.
Yeah.
$20 a night.
Yeah. $20
a night. I'm like, inflation. Woo!
I still thought that. I was like, for this piece of shit, $20 is kind of expensive.
That's true. That's true.
And also, then I wrote, "Don't flash your cash, bitch."
Yeah, me too. He's He carries a massive wad of cash in New York City. Obviously, he's not the
Wants to
brightest
be
crayon in the box.
Yeah, wants to be mugged. Also,
Oh,
where did he get this money from? We never get that answer to that one.
was that his inheritance? Who knows? So I wrote down the quotes right after that. So our main character, he's later his name is out. His name is Dwayne. Um, our lead character. He goes upstairs at the basket, and the hotel clerk and drunk O'Donovan.
And there's another guy. I just don't remember what
I don't know.
deal was.
But the guy was like, "Did you see that? He's loaded." And the hotel clerk says, "So are you." That was the first thing that made me laugh.
I actually did like the hotel clerk. I
did too. I was like, "Oh, good for you."
O'Donovan is one of the worst actors in this movie.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And he has the most to do. And I'm like, oh, not the most to do, but he has quite a bit to do. And I'm like, oh God, where did you find this dude? But as he's walking up the stairs
around the corner,
Dwayne runs into Josephine, who is, I just wrote, oh, okay, crazy, because and it was nice talking to you, and she just walks away.
Get out of here!
Yeah, she's like exposition dump. See you later. Just
for
leaves.
No reason. She never comes. By the way, she never comes back.
Oh, she's back
in the hotel, but she really doesn't have many lines.
No, well, she comes
back
as
an essential character to justify.
No, like to further the plot on. No, she's just I'm crazy.
Get the fuck out.
And then we meet sexy Beverly Bonner, and she is I think it's alluded that she is a sex worker. I think that's what we're alluded to. Isn't that what you kind of got the idea?
I didn't want. Yeah.
I mean, she's letting a guy in the middle of the afternoon to her room, and he's kind of drunk, or something. So I don't know. I don't know, but that's kind of what I got the feeling, which that's fine. Whatever.
Sure.
I mean, again, pre-Giuliani, before he made those ladies leave.
I mean, it's all right. I ain't mad at it.
Yeah. He goes and and the only reason I bring this up is because it's disgusting. So Dwayne goes across the street and buys bags of burgers.
Oh my God.
Something that's in this basket that so the way he talks to, we learn, is his conjoined twin Belial, which is Hebrew for worthless. And I
love Yiddish words. They're the best.
You love what? Yeah. Wicked or worthless. Yes. He's the way he communicates is telepathically with it. So, and I say it, I'm just gonna say it because it is it.
For now, we don't know what it.
We don't know what it is. Yes. So, well, we do know it is. Yes, we don't know it's his conjoined twin.
Right.
But
we will. Spoilers.
He starts taking the patties out. He gets hamburgers. He's taking the patties out of the buns, just giving it the patties. And I'm like, what is it? Keto? Is it like, is it doing Atkins? Is it only?
At first I thought that it was like only a meat eater.
Yeah, but then like towards the end, he starts putting full ones in. Yeah.
And then some with the foil still on it. He's just half
he dumps it in there. I was like, oh, he's just eating foil. He's just getting some nutrients.
God. He's looking through a bunch of documents through the guy in the beginning that was killed. We learn is a doctor, and he looks through his files. We zoom in on the names: Dwayne Bradley, patient. So that's him. H. Needleman and J. Cutter are the referring MDs. Needleman and Cutter. How symbiotic can you get?
I mean, it's not really in depth. I mean, we're not,
It's fine. That's like being the narrator and being called misinformation or something. Well,
if we really want to, do our due diligence, I'm looking up Lifflander right now to see what Lifflander means.
Lifflander.
It probably means something in Swedish.
It probably means something if everything else does, which is kind of funny. And So the patient's name is on the documents. So the main character slash dude's name is Dwayne Bradley. What else do we know about that? 2 first names, 2 names, 2 people. I know that's not the thing's name. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too deeply into it.
I don't know. I don't know if
Do I get a pass?
You get a pass on that. I'll give you an okay on that one.
Moving right on.
Dwayne's got a pretty sweet runner's body. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
he's got a nice body. I'm not
because
he's like he's running it. So what point we see all of the runner's body. Right now we just see the testicular area, and I'm okay with it.
We'll get to it.
it. I mean, let's just.
I think I
put it out there. Dwayne's not a bad looking dude. He's not a bad looking dude. He's still handsome today. Like he's still.
I wouldn't hit that, but he's not bad looking.
Oh come on.
No.
I mean, not second one, because that hair is something else in the second one.
Well, isn't that funny though?
Well, that like a little older, so.
Well, there's that.
Yeah. But that hair, yeah. I mean, but if anything, he's gonna have hair for a while. He's got lots of hair. He still does have
a lot of hair. Yeah. It's right.
Anyhow.
Does this thing have no lips or something? Fucking close your mouth when you chew, you fucking lip smacker. Oh, that is so disgusting. My dad, when I was a kid, my father used to yell at me for that, and now I can't stand the noise. And one of my boyfriend's kids does it, and I'm like, ah! I'm like, stop doing that. She's like, what? I'm like,
you probably have a little bit of dysphonia like I do.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this before. Yeah. Mouth noises, wrinkling. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things. Clearing your throat. Yep. Also, so he goes. So they decide to go to see Needleman. Belial, or Dwayne takes what we know is.
Yeah, we don't find out the thing's name until the very end.
No, he takes. I'm gonna call Belial because I have all my notes saying Belial.
And you should, because what I called it throughout my notes until then was WITB. What's in the box?
Well, he takes WITB to see Dr. Needleman, because what they're going to do, you find out in a couple scenes, is they're getting even with all the doctors that have cut them apart.
Yeah.
And so we encounter our first, like, I don't know, one of these extras that is like OTT. This old lady sitting in this waiting room, just going off about what.
Oh my gosh!
Fuck
wait,
ever.
You forgot. Wait, hold on. Let's back that up. So this is where I mentioned Casey, the lady, the maybe prostitute.
Yeah, she's the best actress in the movie.
Yes, she is actually. Legit. Dwayne is woken up in the middle of the night at 3:30. By whatever is in the box, WITB. We don't hear anything, but Dwayne is bitching at nothing to go back to sleep. So it's inferred that he can hear it, but nobody else can through his thoughts.
Well, I
but
said
he has to speak at it out loud. Right.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
The next morning, the drunken room 8 peeps in the keyhole of Dwayne's room, but he's caught by Casey, the lady next door, and she knocks. Oh, and she knocks. This was my favorite. She knocks the shave-in haircut 2 bits. I love that. That. I love it. And warns him to secure anything valuable.
Oh yeah, because O'Donovan's been looking through, and O'Donovan is like, he's hungry for this wad of cash. That
wouldn't you be if you were him and you saw that? And you're in New York City in the 80s where it's fucking crime-ridden.
No, I wouldn't want to go. I wasn't gonna go steal money out of somebody.
I'm not. But
I mean, I'd be jealous. I'd be like, oh, look at that dude flashing his cash. But I'm not gonna, not gonna mug him.
Not. He's not. He didn't want to mug him. He just wanted to take his cash.
Oh, he wanted.
He didn't want to. No. He didn't want to like attack him and mug him. He wanted to like sneakily, and he did try this later. Wanted to sneakily
to his
grab
detriment.
That cash.
Yep, to his detriment.
So then we go to Dr. Needleman's.
We have this line that it felt like my throat was on fire. Like this extra is like over the top. Like, I mean,
please tell me she was the producer or something cool.
I don't think so. But holy shit, I just was like, my eyes just almost popped out of my head, and they're big as it is, and I'm like, oh, wow, that is a delivery. That's the take you're going with. Okay, all right, let's keep going. Keep going.
In the meantime, it was like the 200th take, and they're like, whatever the fuck, let's move on.
Also, like so then we meet Sharon, who is the receptionist, who didn't think that she starts talking to Dwayne
Right.
because about
Whose
the
wig
fax
looks worse than mine.
Oh yeah, which I found out that she was bald.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. We don't know. Maybe it might have been cancer. Might have been. I don't know. But she
Might
was
have been
bald.
cancer. Might have been alopecia. That's a real. These are real things. We don't know. Interesting.
The wig at this point, I don't think looked bad. This part wasn't as bad as the end. The end looks real bad. Like,
oh yeah, it's getting real bad.
Like the wig had some times. The wig was having it was done with this production.
Yeah.
But
should have been.
She says something like, "Oh, you're a patient," and be like, "Yeah. Why would you think that he was the repairman? Like, he doesn't have a uniform on."
Well, he didn't have a uniform on, but he had this giant basket, and which he brings with him everywhere. And she thought maybe the basket was like his tools or something.
Could be.
Also, I might have gone there.
Severe eye makeup. Like, she had some.
Look,
girl, that was
trying to get it.
Oh, she tried to get it, but at the same time, she gets fucking hostile though with him. He's like, she's like, have you been to Staten Island? He's like, no, I just got here. You haven't had time. I'm like, whoa, hold up, girl.
She's getting all weird.
That's not you're gonna get it.
Yeah, she's a little aggressive.
She's a little aggro. It's okay.
A little aggressive. Oh, this is fun. So they're talking, and he's trying to get in to see the doctor, right? Because he wants
to kill him.
His little buddy, right, is gonna do something about his little buddy.
Little buddy's got an appointment.
This is the craziest thing. He's like, oh, she's like, oh, what's your name? And he's like, and he's again not the brightest crayon in the box. This is his first rodeo, kids. He has no idea what the fuck he's doing. But he's like, oh, I'm Dwayne Bradley. But don't write that. Put down something like Smith. Dwayne Smith. Like, if I were the secretary, I'll be like, yeah, okay, Mr. Smith, have a seat. 911.
I want to surprise him. Yeah, I'd be like, no, we need your medical record. This is your medical record.
Right. No, I need your real name.
Yeah. And you know what? Why don't you give me your social while you're at it?
Right, because he was like, oh no, I just want to surprise him. He's an old friend, and I want to surprise him. Of course,
she goes, oh, he'll love that. He's like, he's such a joker or something like that. I was like, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. He's a pervert, but I don't think. I mean, they found the perverterous, creepy person to. What?
The perviest of all pervs. And by the way, I find this so vexing when I'm in a doctor's office, or I'm some place where I need to fill out paperwork and someone is yakking at me.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Let me finish this paperwork. I don't like small talk anyway.
Yeah.
But it's even more annoying when I'm supposed to be doing a test. Oh, have you finished those papers? No, because you haven't shut the fuck up yet.
Yeah, I got it. I'm trying to focus.
Focus
on what I'm doing. I got a pen. I'm trying to write and remember shit. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if cancer runs on my mom's side or my dad's side. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. You know, it'd be really great if you guys sent this to me electronically beforehand. Awesome.
Oh my god.
Yep.
So annoying. Anyway,
also, I at one point thought, so Dwayne goes in to meet with Dr. Needleman, and I'm like, oh Jesus, he's gonna get sexually assaulted by this doctor, because this doctor comes in, he's like, you can take your shirt off. I was like, okay, what is happening? Is that normal? Do you just go in and be like, hey, you can take your shirt off? If the doctor said that to me, I'd be like, I'm gonna peace out now. I'd be like, no, you can see my lawyer for the sexual harassment, because it was creepy.
Anymore, like when I go into a general, I don't know what this guy. Well, okay, so he's a surgeon, right?
Yeah.
So
doesn't know what he.
No, he.
I don't think they gave us. The only one we know is that it is not.
It's Cutter.
Yeah, but we don't. He doesn't even know what he's there for. So why would he be taking his shirt off? Yeah, I don't know. It was creepy, and the line
That
was
was
delivered
weird.
so creepily that it was.
Yeah. Again, pervy, but it could be his look. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not nice. Oh, that. Mm, it's not yeah. Anyway, so after his appointment and presumably after killing the doctor, which I thought he did, but he didn't, Dwayne checks out with the secretary, like, hey, I get off at, and she's like, I get off at 7, hint, hint. Oh,
Mhm.
I'd like to, but I just had your boss killed and I'm an obvious suspect. So rain check. No, he wants to call her.
Yeah, and well, then he also has her address now too.
And
So
has her address.
yeah, yeah.
And I said, oh, wait, he
Yeah.
didn't kill him. Dr. Needleman calls Dr. Lifflander, which is the doctor from the very, very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Dwayne and the basket go to see a kung fu movie.
Dwayne in the basket.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was there anything else you wanted to add before they go to the
No,
movie?
well, he does. So what he does, just because it does come in later, is when he goes up to Sharon to ask her out, he's whispering because he doesn't want Belial to hear him.
Yeah.
So because even in the basket, Belial will hear them, even though they have a telepathic connection. I was like, so okay,
he's gonna know.
He's gonna know, dude.
Right.
Also, they share more than, well, it's telepathic, but then they also share like physical responses, which I've heard. I mean, that's the I think the old wives' tale is that twins, will feel the other one's pain and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
They've taken that to like the extreme for this. I mean, yep, things happen in this one, especially the second one. Whew.
Big time. Big time.
Yep. No, I just had tank top guy steals basket.
So Dwayne and what's in the box goes in the what's in the basket goes to the theater. They watch a sweet kung fu movie, and someone steals the basket while Dwayne falls asleep, opens it up in the bathroom. Oops.
Yeah, comes out, runs out screaming, bloody.
We have not, and to this point, we have not seen whatever is in the box yet.
Mm-mm.
All those shots are point of view, are POV. So all we have is in the beginning this Muppet hand.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I have thoughts about the hands. Keep going.
Lots of screaming and blood.
Yeah. Yeah. Next, we find out what the connection between all. So we learn, because he mentions Dr. Cutter. Dr. Cutter's number is not in the phone book that he has, so they'll get it from Needleman, but they know that they're all connected, and you find out how they're all connected. But Needleman calls Cutter, who is about to date rape someone, so that happened. What was his name? Cuddles. She's sitting there. It's like a shot of this good-looking dude. I mean, real good-looking dude.
I wrote down quotes.
Okay, go for it.
So Dr. Needleman is getting no answer from Dr. Lifflander. He then calls Dr. Cutter, who is playing cougar to her guest. Quote, I like you drunk. You're cute when you slobber.
Oh.
And then as the phone call says, sorry about that, Cuddles. Now where were we? I want to be
I was
her.
about ready to roof you. God, it was the creep. Like, this lady is not the best actress either. She's like,
not at all. She's like deadpan face. Like, she has no face emotion.
No, I wonder, like, some of these actors knew what this was. I almost think that maybe she did. She knew what it was, because she's so over top later with that one scene.
That's the thing. Like, she's awful until her death. And I'm like, that was awesome. What the fuck was the rest of that?
Yeah.
I don't know. But
FYI, my throat's on fire lady has never been in anything else, has no connection to this movie besides that line.
I am so surprised.
I know, right?
I thought for sure she was a Shakespearean trained actor.
BAFTA award winner. Yeah, right? Yeah. So
Needleman calls Cutter interrupts her dinner rude, and tells her that Dr. Lifflander is dead. He saw Dwayne today. He knew it was him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like,
because he does take his shirt off and then he sees.
Right. And he's
Yeah.
like, "This is kind of crazy, huh?" And she's like, "Don't ask, don't tell," and gets back to her dinner.
Which she actually says again, and I wrote that down. I was
Again,
like,
I know, again.
again, like, oh, okay,
Ugh. Well, she's
yeah.
like, fake it till you make, or what does she tell him to do? Sh-
I
she
don't
like
know.
tells him to play it off or something like that.
That we
Or
don't know anything about.
we
We
don't
don't know
know.
anything about.
That's
What
why
was
I
it?
wrote "Don't ask, don't tell"
Glen's
because she's like,
balls.
"We don't know anything about it. I don't know what you're talking about. Who this? Bye."
Yeah. I'm sorry. You think you're calling someone who gives a fuck? Nope. So I gotta go get it wet. Peace.
I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be having an orgasm right now. What is
I have someone that I'm going to jerk off till he can actually have sex with me. So then I think what was happening is I think that with going to the movies, I think they were wasting time or like
Yeah,
kind of till
because
they
they
could
go
come
back.
back. And they meet up with Dr. Needleman runs when he realizes that like something's happening. He runs out
Mm,
of his did you see what the other in his hallway what the other business the name of it was in the same hallway? This is just, I mean,
I
New York
forgot to
City.
look.
Novelties in Rubber. That was the name of the other store. Novelties in Rubber. So you got ducks, dildos,
Nipples.
nipples, butt plugs,
Condoms. I don't know. Not
balls
literal
for
rubber.
dogs.
I just. Oh boy.
Oh, okay,
You never
so go
know.
ahead.
But Dwayne returns to Dr. Needleman and lets the little guy loose.
Oh, not just lets him out. He dumps him
Yeah.
out of the basket.
Huge.
Yeah, like I would be like dumping laundry onto the floor.
That hand, it looks like baby dinosaur's hand with overgrown nails. Do you remember the
Oh,
dinosaurs back in the day that
you mean
show?
who? Not the mama?
Not the
Yes, I do.
mama. Yeah.
I is that where I started talking about his hands?
Oh, and then we finally see it. We
Yes, we
finally see
do.
Belial.
Well, he's hanging on the wall like a Garfield window cling at this point.
Oh my gosh. That reminds me of the first time the first and last time, by the way, I ever stole anything. That's
Okay.
what I stole.
Was it Garfield window cling? It was like stuffed animals that you stick on.
Yes. With the little suction cups.
Yeah.
And then I was 4, right? So what did I do
Oh,
with it?
yeah, yeah. Well, that's okay.
So
You
what did
weren't
I
like
do with it? I put it
21.
once I stole it, what did I do with it?
Stuck it in the car.
I stuck it in the window in my bedroom, which I shared at the time with my sister. She's like, wow, this is too easy, Mom. Oh God. That
Well,
was
you're
funny.
4. That one's okay.
I was 4, but credit to my mother, so much credit, but this is one of the many little things that she did. She made me go take it back. She drove my little ass up there
Mm-hmm.
and made me put it on the counter and apologize and take it back.
No.
And I was all big talk until I got there.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, arms crossed in the car. Fine, that's fine, sure, whatever. And I get there and I was like, it was so embarrassing. But I needed to feel that.
You did.
So I didn't do it again.
So the only thing you steal now is people's hearts. What?
Oh, come on.
Ah! Boom! So
Gosh.
I wrote this later, but I'm going to bring it up now because we're talking about his hands. Where is it at? I'm looking for my note where I write about his hands. His fingers look like, oh, here we go. Belial's fingers look like dildos. Do you know that there's a porno called Edward Penis Hands?
Of course. Well, of course there is.
Each of the fingers is a dildo.
Sure.
Is a penis. That's what this reminds me of.
I would expect nothing less.
No, they look like dildos. And every time he puts one in everyone's mouth. That's how he kills people, is by putting his fingers in their mouth for some strange reason. And I was like, it looks like he's just sticking a dildo in their mouth. Awesome.
Yeah, it's
Um,
gross.
I have some listings of what I think Belial looks like. Do you have some listings?
Well, no, not like yours. All I wrote was that it's just a head with hands and bad teeth and inexplicable superhuman strength.
I wrote
Why?
a nut sack with arms,
Yep, totally does.
a lumpy sandbag, a malignant tumor,
Yeah, it does.
a
With
skin
arms and a face.
a skin tag on the ass of a monkey. Whatever happens to a puppet after it's left in the oven. Oh, and Mitch McConnell's tit fat.
There you go. Yeah. You know, what's that thing from what is that movie? That awful movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Start the Reactor. What is that fucking damn it. Total Recall.
Oh, yeah. You talking about Watto?
Start the Reactor. Oh my god.
There was a 3-boobed woman, that one.
Yes, it was.
So they celebrate the killing by a big old bag full of pocket full of wieners.
Pocket full.
And I was like,
I wrote down a question after he killed Dr. Needleman. I was like, here's a question. What happens when they've killed all the doctors?
Yeah, what's the end game?
What's
we
the
don't
plan? Know. We don't know.
Yeah, they're gonna go off to the sunset.
Right.
Well, not only did he get him a pocket full of wieners, did he get him a television so he could go out with this date with Sharon?
Right, so he can ditch him. Dwayne ditches his bro at the hotel with a TV to go on a date with Needleman's secretary, who obviously hasn't heard anything about Needleman yet.
Yeah. Also, Dwayne just needs to. Okay. They go on their date. I have to. There is something happening because it happens in the second one too. So Sharon goes on their date. Sharon is a lot. She's a lot in this movie.
Yes.
They kiss, and I just want to say someone needed to teach Dwayne or the actor how to kiss because he is shoving his tongue in her mouth.
Oh my god!
And I'm like, this is not a stage kiss. Oh Jesus!
No,
he does it in the second one too. It was like no one taught him how to kiss.
It's one of those things where, like, you're supposed to have like more lip action, but then it's like they're trying to eat each other's face, like their mouths stay open.
Yeah,
and just, that is some deep Frenching, yo. It's not him because it's not necessarily that's how it was back in the day.
He does it in the second movie.
Yes, but there was a lot of that. There was a lot of that in older movies. A lot of that.
Not to this extent. This is porno.
Too much.
This is almost porno, though. Like,
so is this movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, it is a step away from porn.
This is what I'm saying.
But I was like, it was actually making me ill.
Yeah. It was making me ill. Like, ugh.
I just sent you that gif of 14 of Belcher getting.
I don't need a throat culture. I just.
Yeah. Wall. That's all I can hear. Yeah.
Dudes,
oh God.
That is not hot. Okay.
No.
Just FYI. No. Dudes, chicks. I don't care who you are. There are bad kissers all around.
Yeah.
That is gross.
Yeah, it's like almost.
You gotta ease on down the road. Okay.
It's like he was flossing for her with his tongue. It was gross. Ugh. Blah. Anyhow.
Ew.
Well, so they start making out, and Belial fucking.
Oh, he loses his shit.
He loses his shit. He goes crazy.
He's bored / pissed.
Yeah, he starts destroying the room, and this is where the stop motion animation comes in, and it is amazing.
I was dying laughing. Oh my god!
Like that bed, shaking the bed.
The landlord, the damn near whole hotel occupants go up to the room to investigate the commotion, but they find no one. O'Drunka then breaks in to steal Dwayne's cash, which is again foolishly lying around. Why the fuck didn't he take that with him?
Yeah.
At least have it on his person, which again is probably stupid. But he's just gotta know what's in that basket.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so they know they the rest of the hotel hears what's happening and come running up. Somehow Belial gets O'Donovan back into O'Donovan's own room. I was like, wait, what? Because they open the door to O'Donovan's hotel room or apartment or whatever. Because as I wrote, classy posters on the wall. Like there's a vintage from what it says in the trivia. Is these are actually like the first couple of like I have to look up the actual thing, but there's Playboy playmates on the wall. And I was like, classy. And I knew that wasn't Dwayne's room.
Yeah.
So it had to be O'Donovan. So how the fuck did he get him into O'Donovan's room?
What do we always say?
Movie
magic. But he also the Belial also has inexplicable superhuman strength.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he's flying on these people and like run, and these people
like he eats around everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. He eats out of that basket all the time.
Oh my god. I don't get it. There are no legs. It is
a nut sack. It's a nut sack with legs.
With legs. Maybe that explains the end. But we
So Belial's hiding in the toilet when they come looking for the intruder.
Dwayne's date is interrupted by his cosmic connection with his twin brother, who is currently killing O'Donovan. Dwayne books it back to the hotel, but Belial has escaped out the window and back in its own room. ? Dwayne gets to the hotel and freaks out, including at his date.
Yeah, shoves her.
Motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not okay. Do not put your hands on me, thank you. Of course, this is 82. He books it to the room and is questioned by police. The basket is empty. His money is inexplicably rolled up.
Yeah.
Oops. It was lying flat before, but whatever.
No, O'Donovan put the rubber band on it.
Oh, he did? I didn't see him do that.
Because that was right before he started going through the drawers.
Oh. And had to see what's in the basket.
What's in the basket?
The detectives leave and Dwayne argues with Belial, but they make up. We'll always be together. It's cool.
We go
but he's still pretty bummed.
Like anyhow.
I know them all.
So then, Dwayne decides to get fucking hammered.
Oh, what else is there to do?
Yeah, you got your conjoined twin in a basket. What else do you do? Go fucking, get drunk,
Yeah.
He's like fucking hammered at this now Hellfire Club, but this S&M club, and Casey comes over to him, and they get into a conversation. They start drinking more, and they're both pretty hammered. And she just pretty much asks, "What's in the basket?" And he's drunk enough that he tells her. And as the story goes on, my note is...
And tells her all the things.
Yeah, I go, well, Casey, are you sorry you asked now?
Right. So
now you know. Like, the fuck. And
next time, don't ask.
Yeah. Crazy white boy.
Right. He spills all the history all at once. Dwayne's father.
Yeah, so this is where
do you want to start this, or
we get the flashback? Yeah, it suddenly becomes community theater. So yes.
Then we get the flashback. Dwayne's father compels the three doctors, to separate. At the time, conjoined twins, Belial and Dwayne Bradley.
Mm-hmm. And
the operation was done at the house. Yeah. Oh my god, the sound effects.
Oh, celery.
And apparently there's zero anesthesia.
Yeah, no, they just put them out. That's all they did. They just they gave them something.
God.
And oh
gross.
God. So the one doctor goes, "I'm not even sure it's human." Well, what the fuck else would it be, lady? Because I think it was Cutter who said that. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's part of this kid's body. Of course it's human, you fucking idiot. Well, she's a vet. So we find out she's not even.
That makes it. That's not really her specialty anyway. So there you go.
The sound effects, though, it sounds like chicken carcasses or celery being
it's
eaten.
So gross. It's like someone breaking that, or it sounds like someone like with wet hands on a balloon. Just the thought of it, like makes my cheeks. Blech.
So the surgery is a success, though, when they throw Belial in the trash can.
A trash bag out with the trash. Literally. So
young Dwayne goes out and finds him.
Dwayne / Belial's aunt is the one that kind of has been raising them, because the dad was so appalled and like,
stop my son.
And the mother died during childbirth. The father just gave up on them.
Yeah, they weren't allowed to go to
nothing
school.
To do with them.
Yeah, and so
the aunt took care of them. What I want to know is why the fuck the father came back while the aunt was away. And
that's why he came back while she was away, so he could do the surgery.
But why did he care?
He wanted Dwayne. He wanted Dwayne to be his son.
Like, mind your own and stay the fuck out of it. They were fine without you.
Well.
So
we get to see some Daddy Bradley body, though.
Oh my gosh! Yes, we do. Lots of it.
Yeah,
he wasn't bad either.
He had a run. That's where Dwayne got his runner's body from.
His heels were a little too hard, though.
Do you want to talk about that?
He's got a lead foot, quite literally, maybe two.
Yeah, he's barefoot walking through the house. He gets to the basement, and it sounds like he's got fucking combat boots on, and he's barefoot.
I was dying. I texted Ray. I was like, dude, you gotta get to the part. So right before that, was the surgery. I was like, dude, the sound effects. You have to text me. And she thought it was the surgery. I'm like, well, yeah, that too, but wait.
But wait, there's more. Because he hears something like going on in the basement, like construction.
Right, he hears like bandsaw noises, sawing, hammering. He's woken up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Goes to investigate in the basement with just pants on. No shirt, no socks, no shoes.
I was okay with all of that.
It was fine.
All I wrote is, where the fuck did they find that giant saw blade? There's a giant saw blade in the basement. Like a log, having a logging company. Like, it's huge. I'm like, why would they need a giant saw blade? Are they cutting like
giant massive
part-time log mill? Part-time log mill. It's fine.
Maybe in the basement.
On the side. Yeah, we do it on the side. It's
out in the woods.
Business. It's artisanal log mill.
Artisanal. Fuck you. The father's woken up. He moves to the basement. There's a moment with a walking shoe sound effect, even though the dad is barefoot. The dad dies from a circular saw sliding down at him. Oh shit! It was their aunt, and the aunt was, because she found out what the fuck happened when she came back. And the aunt continues to raise them both until her death. Back to the present.
I just wrote, what the fuck is this accent on the aunt? This wannabe Fathy Bates.
Oh gosh, Fannie Mae Bates.
Yeah, it was definitely not Kathy Bates, but she thought she was one. Oh, you dirty birdie. Anyhow.
Any bees.
So then we flash to the present then, and
back to life, back to
reality. And the reality is Casey's bringing a drunk Dwayne home.
I thought for sure they were gonna get it on, but they didn't.
Yeah, but instead she puts him to bed.
He would have had whiskey dick anyway. It wouldn't have worked.
No, she'd be having to deal with what Dr. Cutter was dealing with. But she's like, she has to see what's in the basket.
She's like, but the basket is empty.
Because Belial is somewhere else, and so So what we find out, so Casey goes back to her own room, begins her ritual of going to bed.
Her nightly ablutions.
Yes. And at one point takes her underwear off. I mean, it is like I was creeped out for this actress because I was like, oh, we're actually seeing like the underwear, like the inside of the underwear.
Yeah.
And she goes to bed without any underwear. That doesn't make a difference here.
No, but she is stark naked except for a t-shirt. Yep. Like a long t-shirt really covering her butt.
T-shirt, FYI, that I want.
Yes, really cute t-shirt, and good for you, girl.
She looks great.
Oh, if I could get my figure back to that, I'd be happy. God,
she looks great.
Fantastic. Go, girl.
Yeah, Beverly Bonner can fucking get it. Yes. So, however, she has a bedfellow. Belial reaches his penis fingers out from behind a pillow as she's trying to go to sleep, and I want to say
he
goes
grabs
atomic.
Her tit, right?
He grabs her tit. Yeah, she goes atomic. Like.
Yeah.
Scream. Like, I would be surprised if she had a voice after this scene because she was just screaming. I mean, I would be. Same. Hashtag same. Yeah.
Hashtag same, even if it wasn't that thing. Yeah. If it was just a person.
Yeah, right. The same shit. Even worse because she knows it's a weird guy without the
right, and she knows exactly who it is. She's like, that's his brother.
Yep.
That's a thing.
She knows it's a nutsack. And
so in the meantime, Belial sneaks out the window again, but not without grabbing her panties that she took off first.
So this is where I wrote the question that
Belial's
think is
a fucking freak.
How does he's a ball? He's a ball. How does he have a dick and balls to which like?
I don't.
To have a boner enough to like steal her underwear and have a drive to be like, I need to have this.
Well, yeah, because
I mean, I don't really want to get into the anatomy of all of what happens with him because he does have sex later in this movie.
Not this movie.
Yes, he does.
Oh, yes, he does. I forgot. Gross.
So it all must be underneath, but must come out like Shape of Water. like fish guy from Shape of Water.
Like
he's got a cloaca.
Oh, gross.
There's a flap underneath. There's
little retractable turtle. God. So what?
Oh God. So anyhow, he can get it up somehow.
Right. Somehow. And has a libido. So the next morning.
FYI, just to give you an idea of what Belial looks like, I mean, we want you to Google his picture. Google it. Google it. He has sharp, pointed teeth that looks like fangs. He looks like Bat Boy a little bit.
But lumpier. Shaped.
Yeah, lumpier.
Jesus.
And, a ball. Yes. And a testicle. Anyhow,
giant scrotum. Scrotum. So then they go to Dr. Cutter.
One of the best parts. Yeah, this is one of the best.
Yes, it is.
I necessarily don't know how she dies from this. I don't, but that's okay. We don't need to
There's not an act. It's fine.
It's fine.
So we go to Dr. Cutter.
It's fine.
Because Dwayne is like looking at the address and he goes there with the basket and he's like, oh, she's a veterinarian.
She's not even a doctor. Whoops. I mean, she's a doctor, but she's not a people doctor. Yes, a medical doctor.
Yeah. And like does surgeries because a lot of vets do, but not people except for them.
Well, I will give it to vets. As vets have to know a lot more than regular human doctors do.
They do. They have a harder job.
They do have a harder job because they do know all the different species.
Right.
But still, not human is not one of the ones that they do surgery on. That's not.
No. Not a thing.
No.
So then again, the movie did it anyway. So what does Dr. Cutter say to Dwayne? Ray? What does she say? It's the key phrase in the whole movie.
What's in the basket?
Yeah!
I don't remember that, but yes, okay.
It's said multiple. What's in the basket?
Oh, yeah.
It's not just. It is a big basket. This is not like a teeny weeny little handheld picnic basket.
Yeah, no.
This is like a laundry hamper almost.
This is like something you would use to take on vacation, like for
Yeah.
instead of luggage. Yeah, like back in like Victorian times, I probably would. Yeah,
it's a giant wicker basket.
Yeah. Well, she is sassy up until Belial like does a cling film on yeets at her. Yep. Yeah. Because she's like, huh, what's in the basket? Like, yeah, I mean, kind of like, yeah. Also, so yes, Belial like yeets onto her face, and all of a sudden, like he starts sticking his finger in her mouth, and then all of a sudden she's bloody. So I don't. No, she gets a dildo in the mouth.
Just like everybody else, you have to give it the same treatment. And he reaches in the drawer with her scalpels in it.
But not at first, like because that's what at first I wrote. Why? I'm not sure I know what's happening to her. I said, Belial has his finger in her mouth and she's suddenly bloody. But then he pulls the scalpels. She's bloody before he pulls the scalpels. And I was like, must be his nails. They must be sharp.
They must be razor sharp, apparently.
Yeah, but yes, what is...
I used to think a lot of these people were shitty actors until I see them working with Belial, working with the puppet.
Oh, and then I'm like, yes,
good for you.
They're gonna like throw themselves around with this fucking puppet,
like, and pretend that it's like attacking them, not them throwing it around.
Right.
So funny.
Yeah, and
she was no exception.
She was not. That's why I said I almost think that maybe she knew what she was doing here.
Do you have the sound clip?
I'll add it in.
I died laughing, and I replayed this like 3 times and then played it again to record it, and I tweeted it out. The way her scream when she died.
It's amazing. And I wanted to respond back to you via text and be like,
it was 12 seconds long.
Yeah, it's almost operatic, and it's,
it's like a tea kettle, or it's like a siren, both ambulatory and mer people siren.
I like the differentiating. I mean, yes, I would go to the sea if I heard her doing that, definitely. I'd be like, what the fuck is that? But she dies of scalpels to the face, which I don't really think you would kill somebody.
At least 5 or 6.
But still, like, I think even
but one was super close to her eyeball, and that made me very uncomfortable.
But again, it would just blind her. Would not kill her. None of those would kill her. So then we get Sharon again. Sharon comes, and I
called her bad wig, but now I feel bad.
This is where the wig's real bad.
It's not her fault. It was a bad wig. They could have had the decency to give her like some, real hair wig or some shit, a decent wig.
Yeah.
But they had a low budget, so what do you want?
Yeah. This is though they start to fucking get it on though. They start to have sex, and then again Belial starts losing. Oh,
she pulls out all the stops, like, I don't want to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
You're the first person I thought of, the only person I thought of. Mind you, hours before, the day before, he's the one that shoved her out of the apartment building and said, go away or whatever.
Yeah, because this is where
You could do better, honey.
Well, yeah, this is where she finds out that Needleman's dead, so that's why she needs a shoulder to cry.
Be alone.
I don't want to be alone.
They don't actually have sex. They're just
no, because when Belial starts losing his shit, Dwayne wraps her in a sheet and throws her out.
I know. Oh, I wrote, quote, take me, Dwayne. Oh shit, what's that? Okay, first she wants up and out. Then she wants in. Make up your damn mind. Oh, right, because Belial freaks out, and she's like, let me out, let me
He's
out.
he's out of the basket.
And then he shoves her out in a blanket, covered in a blanket so she can't see shit. Then he shoves the door or closes the door, locks it. And then she's like, let me back in. And I'm like, what the fuck? You just said you wanted out.
Well, probably out of the blanket because she was wrapped up like a mummy.
Jesus Christ.
Well, this is when Belial runs away. But at the same time, Dwayne starts to have his dream.
He sneaks out of his basket, looks at Dwayne. His eyes start to glow. Silently bids him goodbye, and he
says, peace, bitch, and leaves.
Yells out the window for no reason, which somehow doesn't wake up Dwayne.
Because
Dwayne
Dwayne's in a
escapes out the window. Dwayne dreams he's streaking through the city.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, so here you go. Here's some trivia about this.
Oh, here we go.
So, I gotta find the one.
Okay.
Dwayne's streaking scene was shot without permits on a cold winter's night. To shoot the scene, the crew would first clear the sidewalks of any objects that might hurt Kevin Van Hendricks if he stepped on them. He was then let out of a heated van on one side of the block and met on the other side by another heated van. Once picked up, the van would drive him to another block. This was repeated until they got desired amount of shots. So that might be why he has nothing to be ashamed of.
Nothing to shake his dick at.
No, because I was even
shake
thinking
his
like,
dick at.
Yeah, I mean, because boy came to play.
Sure.
I mean, if you're talking about shrinkage, boy came.
There wasn't
play.
any inexplicably.
There wasn't. No, and if it, but that would explain. Oh, it
wasn't bad. Good for you.
Bad.
Good for you.
That nice body plus that nice piece of equipment. Nice.
Working.
Yeah,
so he streaks through the city and sneaks into a random window. It turns out to be Sharon.
So what it is they're sharing this
her question mark.
Yeah, Belial is sharing this dream with Dwayne. And I think that's what the eye lighting up was. I think that was them sharing like that connection coming alive. I think that's what it was supposed to be like represent. Yeah, but like it's so he's running across the city. Is Belial's actually
running? Yeah,
bouncing.
Boom. Oh my god! Like in South Park when Randy had
balls.
Yes, the hippity hop testicles.
Yes. Yep.
Oh god.
Yes, but no, he definitely. She wakes up as Belial's like humping her, and he then strangles her to death, or he dildos her, because he does stick a finger somewhere. I don't know if it's in her mouth or what, but he sticks something somewhere. But then she's dead, and he continues to finish, so that's good for him.
Yeah,
because Dwayne realizes what's happening.
Yeah, wakes the fuck up, dashes to her place, and catches Belial in the act of raping a dead body, right? Mm-hmm. And fucking
pulls him off of her like a suction
and it was
cup.
bloody.
It was bloody. It was like a suction cup. It was like
so gross.
The sound effect was really gross there.
I didn't like it.
So he puts him back in the basket, and he starts smacking the shit out of this basket as he's getting back to the fucking hotel room.
They
hysterical.
argue he argues to himself all the way back, and Belial ends up killing Dwayne and himself out the hotel window.
First, Belial picks up Dwayne by his penis. He like grabs him by the crotch of his giant giant penis,
I forgot about that.
Him up to the ceiling, and Dwayne's like just kind of hanging there like a doll because a testicle monster is grabbing his crotch and lifting him like a figure skater, like Blazing Glory.
Oh my God. Like in ballet, where they hold them up, like have their hand for a seat.
Yeah. So but they both pas de deux out the fucking window, and
yeah, they do.
We figured that they
How to do?
died.
Yeah, they do. Nope.
So actually, there's another ending of this.
Is there now?
Yeah, the original ending included Belial walking around Manhattan. However, the director and crew soon realized they didn't have enough budget or technical requirements to pull off such a scene. Instead, Frank Hennenlotter wrote the scene with Wayne streaking through New York and called Kevin to get his approval. Kevin loved the idea, and it was shot the next night.
I want the world to see my pee.
I need you to see my dick. There's so much dick imagery, dick and ball imagery in this movie.
I'm on TV.
What?
I'm on TV. my dick is on TV.
Yeah,
yes, sign me up.
But just in general, I'm like thinking about it. I mean, he looks like a fucking testicle. His fingers look like penises. We see a penis. I mean, there's a
lot of that in this. A lot of it.
Yeah.
The end.
That is Basketcase. Let's do some ratings. What's the first one, Ween?
I know. We have so much more to go. Blood droplets.
How
many drops of blood?
2.5. This wasn't really.
It really wasn't. Yeah, I did like 2. Yeah. Skellies.
Spooky, scary, right?
Yeah. I should say ghosts. How many ghosts? Little ghosties.
I mean, it wasn't scary. It was funny.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Yeah, so I'm going to say 1.
Yeah, I said 1 too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't say 1. I said 1 as well.
Yes.
Sex.
I'm going to say this was skeezy as fuck. So I'm going to say this was 4 on this one.
I did it too. But there was a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going for the skis factor of like, there's a fucking rape and we see boobs and,
penis and, Yikes. Coal black hearts.
Fucking 4.
Goth emo hearts.
4.
I gave it 2.
I had fucking blast.
I gave it 2. I didn't hate it. It was fun. Yeah. It was really fun and it made me laugh.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna say 3 because next one.
Yeah, the next one
might be higher. All right, so we're gonna take a break and we're gonna come back and talk about Basketcase 2.
Yay! Baby, we're back.
I like that. I want to use that forever. Forever.
I'm trying to find the right niche, Yeah. Niche, whatever it's called.
Niche. I like it. I did. As I'm looking through this, I found another connection from these 2 movies. Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
I did. So I thought maybe we would, since we didn't do it on the top, at the top, I thought we might do it now. Is talk a little bit about Frank Hennenlotter, because he's still alive and he's kind of like, to me, one of the grandfathers of camp, like splat stick sort of.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean that's to me what like I think of. I mean, because he has some newer movies. Like it's I do put him up with Trauma. Like I think they're pretty much on the same wavelength. There have been Trauma films that have grossed me out to the point where I can't finish them. This I'm not that like, not so much like but he does have some documentaries. Like he has one on Herschel Gordon Lewis, which Herschel Gordon Lewis, if you want to talk about like exploitation films, very gory, lots of blood. If you're looking at like, I would say if you've not seen any Herschel Gordon Lewis, please go and watch Herschel Gordon Lewis. Like some of his stuff from the 60s is the Gorger Girls is really big. That's one of the one of the big ones that he's done. The Wizard of Gore is another one. I think I've seen that one. This
says his 16 millimeter black and white short Slash of Knife in 72 actually played at a 42nd Street Grindhouse midnight show with John Waters' Pink Flamingos.
Yeah, that adds up. I mean, they're all coming out of that same exploitation college school around that same time, because I mean, Trauma, that's when Trauma came about too. I mean, um but yeah, I mean, it's he's this little old man that you were like, really, like, you wouldn't think, really, that's the guy that has these like
Him?
I mean, yeah, the Wizard of Gore. I remember it's the blood's like bright red blood, like Land of the Dead, like
Oh, Dawn of the
right,
Dead.
yeah,
Like
Dawn of the Dead, yeah,
orangey
yeah,
red paint. Blah.
yeah, and it's a lot of just tits hanging out and grinding up intestines. And that's what I kind of
Nice.
think, like, with these movies, it's the same sort of thing. It's like, it's campy, very campy gore. So the other big movie that came out the same year as Basketcase 2 is Frankenhooker by Frank Hennenlotter. A story about this medical student who decides to, he builds this. He wants to, like, his fiance has died, so he wants to recreate her by using parts from street workers, or sex workers, I should say. And it's very campy. It's very campy and funny and dirty. I mean, it's sexploitation. I mean, you can't. But I
Right.
mean, he's like a grandfather of sexploitation. So so
Can I read this from? This is a mini bio from IMDb about
yeah,
Frank Hennenlotter.
yeah.
Outside of writing and directing, Frank has been responsible for reissuing an enormous volume of vintage 60s and 70s horror, softcore, and exploitation flicks on VHS and DVD alike for Something Weird Video. So he was a big pusher for,
Mm-hmm.
everybody.
This is
Like, it wasn't so much like, I want to make big box office numbers out in the theater. He wasn't that guy. He
no,
was
part of it's
a
for
cult
art,
guy.
for art's sake, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, because there is an art to this. I mean, yeah, not so much the softcore porn, but like,
I mean, yeah.
but I mean, this stuff. I mean, it is camp, and it's sexploitation. So it's kind of like, you got to take it as with a grain of salt. But at the same time, like, somebody put work into it. Someone built,
Right.
built the practical effects.
Ooh. I would watch
Frank Hennenlotter's,
another movie of his.
yeah, I mean, he said in an interview that his original idea for the sequel to Basket Case was to have the character Dwayne Bradley from the original Basket Case have a small part, and have the film focus more on the freak aspect, which it is. I mean, it does.
Yeah.
And Dwayne does take a back seat in this one. He also wanted to call the sequel House of Freaks, but then they're like, yeah, probably. Let's just call it Basket Case
Yeah.
2, and let's give Rain a little big heart, a larger part. That's kind of what the film distribution company was like. So besides that little, like, between the two of them,
Yeah.
they he had pretty much free reign to do whatever he wanted. But you can see the same stable of actors between these films, like who's in Brain Damage.
Oh, did you see my
I looked
message?
at you. Yeah, I did. Mm-hmm.
Beverly Bonner is in it, who plays Casey in these films.
Yeah, and I was noticing that the newswoman from Basket Case 1 is in Frankenhooker. So I mean, and it's the same thing with Trauma. Trauma does the same. You have a stable of actors, and you continue to use them. Now there's a
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying
it's you got them. It's like a community theater. It's sort of the same sort of thing.
Yeah, you kind of have your little family. Well, and kind of like Rob Zombies.
So this movie's genesis came from when Hennenlotter was trying to sell a script for a movie called Insect City. He showed it to his friend James Glickenhaus, who liked the script but knew it wouldn't sell. So he asked, "Hey, what other?" Huh?
It's a fair.
Yeah, right. Insect City, I'd be like, "Fuck you, get out of here! No one likes spiders." That's an arachnid, but that's fine.
I was gonna say that's an entirely different movie, but it's fine. Moving on.
And he said, so he goes, "What other ideas?" He goes, "Well, he's eager to work with Glickenhaus, so he just kind of made up the plot to Frankenhooker on the spot. And so that got made. And then so at the same time, he was like, well, what else have you got? And he said, well, there's always a sequel to Basketcase. And that's literally how it happens.
Hey.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do?
That's about it. I mean, yeah. So the main character in this one, besides Dwayne and Belial, is Granny Ruth. And Granny Ruth she's mostly well known for giving everyone nightmares from Superman 3, where she becomes a robot. She plays the villain's sister. But Frank Hennenlotter said he was so impressed by Annie Ross's performance that he virtually didn't even direct her. He just let her go and do what she wanted.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Because she is over the top. But that's what you do as an actor, by the way, is that you go for it and let the director pull you back.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also, she knew what this was.
Yeah. She ain't no fool.
Yeah. Hennenlotter was adamant for years that there could be no sequel to Basketcase because we all know, one, what was in the basket, and all of the doctors have been killed, right. And Dwayne and Belial were dead, so there literally couldn't be a sequel.
But movie magic.
Glickenhaus is like, yeah, let's just figure this out. Yeah, so
we actually open the movie with the ending of the first.
We do, and we
not unlike certain other horror genres we've viewed, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's a good one, and then there's a real not good one. Anywho,
same concept. Anyway, Basketcase 2, 1990.
Yeah,
we opened with Dwayne and Belial's demise and the news stories surrounding it. The one reporter calling a male and a quote small grotesque monstrosity.
Yes. Also, real quick, Basketcase 2 Rotten Tomato score 67%.
Is that? But what was the
fresh.
First one?
It's 78. They're both certified fresh.
Wow.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but yes, small grotesque fine. Monstrosity. I just love that this newscast is just showing shots of this very bloody
all
scene.
Of it, right?
Yeah,
people just fell out of a building. Three stories from a building.
Yeah, if their intestines were hanging out, they'd be like, "Hey, check this out!" What?
No, there would be none of that.
Then we get so we see both are alive still. Movie magic. And they're shuttled off to the hospital. Dwayne with a head wrap. I don't know why. Why was his head wrapped?
Well, he fell pretty hard on his head, and half of one of his eyes was covered as well, and I think that's what hit the pavement. Or no, or was that
from
Belial trying to hands? Finger it, right? They
dildo
apparently right. Apparently they lived through this, and apparently they're over their feud. So,
yeah.
But we've upped the effects because this is in real time. It's 8 years later, but not in the movie. In the movie, it's a matter of would you say
minutes?
A year?
No.
Well, yes. Then it's minutes. It's that very night.
Yeah. We get the mayor, or no, sorry, it's the police commissioner comes on, and this fucker is high as a kite.
Oh my god! First he's cross-eyed, straight up.
We're like, where's he looking? Where is he looking?
What? Where? What? Not to
over
sorry,
here.
People who have crossed eyes and can't help that without surgery, or even with surgery. Sometimes I feel bad for you guys, but
No, I mean it's just the fact that they're just throwing this guy up there, no rhyme or reason, just being like, here's this guy.
Nope, there he is.
Okay. Oh, all right. It was but he looked high as a kite because his eyes were
he did.
Huge. So we then moved to the hospital.
Toot. Where they had this Belial hooked up to
yeah, to something. He's animatronic now.
Yes, we've upped the game with our special
Mm-hmm.
effects.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, animatronics. He and so Belial and Dwayne escape the hospital, but not before Belial kills off a guard slash officer slash security slash paramedic slash who the fuck cares. He kills somebody right off the bat.
He also clings
Goes
to the
flirting
wall
with the
again,
nurse.
like Garfield. He clings to the wall like
Yes.
like a wacky, wacky arm things.
Wacky,
Well,
wavy, inflatable arm flailing
or
tube man.
the wacky wall walkers. That's what it is.
Oh,
It's like
yes.
um. So they go and they just steal someone's like dress coat and leave the
Yeah.
hospital. And he shoves Dwayne shoves Belial into a garbage.
Well, I mean, what else are you gonna disguise that as? Just fucking
Put him in there with the dirty syringes and the what the hell what does
soiled.
he
That would
care?
be the soiled where the soiled laundry goes
Yeah, what does he care? He's just a testicle
with arms, with
with
dildo
arms.
arms.
Mm-hmm.
But then somehow, so also during the news stories, we see some older chick and this younger girl watching the news, like, oh, it sounds terrible or something. We got to do something about that. I don't know. They wind up at the hospital to see Dwayne and Belial, and they convince them both. And really, what else was Dwayne's plan going to be anyway? They're
Right.
like, dude, we have a van. Come with us.
He's literally still covered in bandages.
Still in bandages, half out of it too.
Limping, yeah.
Yeah, and he's just like, yeah, great, game on, cool, whatever. Oh, she also tells him that she knew their aunt who had died, which is plausible.
Yeah.
But she's like, I knew your aunt. She told me about you and your brother. Wink, wink. Come into the van. I'll take care of you. We got this. And he's like, yeah, cool. I'm great to hand over the reins.
Yeah.
Good idea. And we learned her name later is Granny Ruth, and the younger girl's name is Susan. I guess her daughter,
granddaughter. Well, then this amount of time here, I think, is a couple days because Dwayne wakes up here, and then
he passes right the fuck out when they get to the house. I mean, he is out.
He is out.
They're both pretty. I mean, they fell off. They fell 3 stories. I don't know how you even survived that, but okay.
So
I know
she gives him this whole big spiel about the house and you know, and this is when she starts using the phrase unique individuals instead of
freaks.
Because
we learned from that what movie? Oh shit! What year was that? 1939. I want to say the movie Freaks.
Granny Ruth give him like a tour of this house.
Yeah,
that he's living in, and they go up to the attic, which is where
she says I've worked with others many others like Belial, and yep.
So they go to the attic, and is there a rogues gallery? I wrote them all down. Would you like to recite them too? Yes.
Sure.
So, first, we have guy with many rolls on face, which is Huge Arthur. We have old guy with snakes coming out of his eye. His name is Worm Man. We have hunchback giant with melted face. His name's Frederick. We have man with 27 noses, all of them running. He doesn't have a name besides man with 27 noses.
Oh
guy with machete teeth. His name's Toothy.
That's right. How original.
Right? We have mouse face because he literally has a face of a mouth.
Jesus.
Mouse.
Like, we don't want you to feel like a... Anyway.
Like a weirdo, but we're going to give you a name called Mouse Face.
Right.
Yep.
Or Toothy. Like, why not George? Okay?
Yeah, like the other ones have Frederick and Huge Arthur. Yeah. We have Half Moon Face. That's his name. Half Moon Face. That guy that we were trying to figure out what was going on.
Oh, yeah.
We have Frog Boy, and he literally makes frog noises at some point.
He does. I've seen the subtitles to prove it. Croaking. He
at one point towards the end is drinking something that looks like swamp water. We have Platehead. He's the guy with the metal plate in his head and werewolf teeth for some strange reason.
A very severe underbite, poor thing.
Yes.
Maybe he's half orc, but that's neat. That's a
Oh,
D&D
that might be it. Yeah.
talking.
Yeah, that might be it. We have Brainiac. The only reason I know that is because he's the guy with the sunglasses that looks like he's got a brain outside of his head.
As a head, right.
Yep. He also gets to be fed later, and I'm like, why? He has mouth and legs and arms. I don't understand. Anyhow, then we have Lorenzo, who is an oversized head and underdeveloped body who can sing opera. We have Elise.
Lorenzo, that was his name.
Yeah.
Nice.
We have Elise. The only way I can explain her is she has a big bonehead, and she's the resident poet.
There you go.
I don't even know. I can't even describe what was going on with that
No.
feature design. That was weird.
Who designed this stuff? I want to know.
We have one that there was no name for, which was the beer bottle E.T. woman.
There you go.
Her neck looks like a beer bottle. And then she had this weird head that looked like E.T.'s head, sort of, kind of all stretched out. Earrings.
Yeah. She had the long ass turkey neck.
Yeah, and she had no name. Then we have
Where the freaks have no name. Where the
I keep building and burning them down. The last one, of course, is the Bestial Resistance, which is Eve, who is another Belial. But she's got a leg. She's got a leg instead of an arm.
She does have a leg, just so we know where they're going. But that's later.
That's later. So that's your rogues gallery.
Belial's eyes are inexplicably blue again.
Yeah. So, and then they're green towards the end. Yeah, I don't know.
So and then they don't glow in this one. In the first one, they glow at some point.
Well, because their connection is severed at some point. So yes, also this fall has severed their connection. Yeah, I know. Does it make sense? No.
I don't know.
So we meet this reporter. Her name's Marcy, and she is obsessed. Marcy. I said Marcy.
I thought you said Marnie. Sorry.
No, I said Marcy. My head was down, so maybe that's why you heard. So at this point, we travel ahead a year in time, and we discover that
1 year later.
Marcy is meeting up with her editor, and he's all excited because he wants to do an anniversary story of her favorite couple, because they've never been brought to justice. Belial and Dwayne are still outlaws. But they need to find out where they are, because no one can find them. They're on the run. They're on the lam. Who does Marcy find though instead of who does she give a call to?
She calls this sideshow freak owner, Mr. Barker, who claims to have Belial. But Ruth gets to him first with Belial. Do you have more on this, or?
Well, so he's promoting, or he's saying that he's got these Bradley brothers, and that they're part of his sideshow. And I think it's funny that his name is Barker, like Carnival Barker. And so when Granny Ruth shows up, all he has are bones, and they're like, it's not really bones, it's paper mache and chicken wire all put together.
Papier mache.
He says they have agromegaly, which is growth that, because she's like, that's a pretty large skeleton you got there.
Yeah,
and he's like, oh, because they have agromegaly, that means they grow larger after death. And she's like, yeah, no.
I don't think that's a thing, dude.
No.
She's like, I'm not an expert, but
yeah. But so then she opens the basket, because she's brought that, and Belial, of course, yeets his way out of it, and we don't
as he
see
does
the kill too much.
No.
Here, no.
You just see the aftermath mostly.
Yeah.
Once Ruth books it out of there with Belial, and Marcy arrives later to
Hmm.
find Mr. Barker expired
Yeah, he
or
was really excited
partially
about the hundred
expired.
dollars that he was gonna get.
Oh, 100 smackaroos!
Ruse.
Yahoo!
Yeah, he was very excited. He never did get that $100, however.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
So we go back
Rest in
to
peace.
the Ruth's encampment. I mean, safe house.
Which
Excuse me.
inexplicably has. Did I write? Is this where the gargoyle shows up? There's a fucking gargoyle.
There's a fucking gargoyle.
I'm like, is this alive?
Why?
Or is it animatronic? What is happening?
Right. There's guys, there's a legit gargoyle like outside the house. Like at some point, Dwayne and Susan talk, and they, run out of there outside, and they hear a noise, and they're like, "Oh, what's up, gargoyle, sir?" And
sir,
I don't know. I mean, don't have to put a sex on it, I guess, but what else,
No, I just like that.
I did.
Call him his proper name,
Ruth,
Sir Gargoyle.
Gargoyle. He was knighted. Ruth is. I'm pretty sure he was knighted.
I would love to see that. Sir Gargoyle, I knight you in the realm. A knight of a realm.
Okay. Ruth is playing therapist to Belial.
Yes, she is.
And she's an actual therapist, and like that's partly why she's like, I don't want to say attracted because it's not sexually attracted. She's attracted
that's her
to
cause.
Yeah, that's like that's her pedestal, is to help these people that are outcast from the world because of the way they look, and like that's cool. Like she's all right.
Yeah.
In the beginning, to start, and I have a quote from her: "Ripping the faces off people may not be in your best interest."
Yeah, I love that. I was like, you write this one down. The best.
And she's like holding its penis hand and like trying to connect with him and legitimately trying to play therapy.
Yeah.
Not play therapy, but be a therapist to him.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be so angry.
Yeah, you little scrotum.
Channel it in a different way.
Scrotum penis man.
Until you need him to kill.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Yeah. Well, then Dwayne, Dwayne's now it's a year later, so Dwayne's got his sweet Tom Hanks haircut, and he is trying to get it fucking wet. He wants Susan so bad. He just needs a little trim.
Bad. Because she is the only other.
She's the normal. She's the normie in the
human-looking female besides Ruth. In the house, and so he confesses to Susan that Belial's best chance is to stay with Ruth, but then tries to convince Susan to leave with him. When Dwayne tries to tell Belial that he wants to leave, Belial just laughs at him.
Well, and Susan tells baby Tom Hanks that he can't she can never leave, and he's like, why not? You're normal. She's like, I'm not. And she keeps telling him, I'm not, you're not, I'm really not, I can never leave. And you're like,
we don't know yet.
Something's going on that we can't see. I even said to you, I was like, I bet she got a tail.
I know.
Yeah.
That would be legit. I didn't get the whole Belial laughing at him thing. I'm like, oh, that's a little creepy.
I think because he knew that even if Dwayne tries to leave, he's still wanted by the police.
Or maybe that he can't really escape what he was or what they were to get. I don't know, whatever. But it was like an evil laugh.
It was. I wrote, Dwayne is breaking up with Belial.
Trying to. Somehow, Marcy, the reporter, finds Ruth's home and asks to see the Bradleys. Ruth expresses her disdain and disapproval, not nonchalantly. In comes Dwayne carrying a basket, who Marcy instantly recognizes. Marcy rushes out, and Dwayne vows to, quote, fight and stay to
fight.
Keep the others safe. They're forcing this plot point down your throat.
And you're like, who are they fighting and why are they fighting?
What's the fight? Yeah. Oh, cut to
The best scene in the movie?
Yes, the Oscar speech.
Yeah, so Granny Ruth comes out in a graduation gown.
Woo! Do you have a quote? I have a quote.
No, I will play the one quote that I have, but I will say that this is her Independence Day speech.
Yes,
Bill Pullman's Independence Day speech.
I love Bill Pullman.
This is our Independence Day.
We will not go quietly into the night. She says, our sanctuary has been violated. Ruth fires up all the freaks to quote unquote fight. Fight what? We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know yet. We don't know. Come to find out, it's two people.
She has a right to party. I don't know.
Well, I think that Andrew WK would have a real big problem with that one.
Or the Beastie Boys, but it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go on.
Well, we do have a line that I'm going to play right
Do it
now.
We must either run and find a new place to hide, or we fight. I know there are those among you who are either incapable of physical confrontation or who are philosophically opposed to it. And this I respect. This I ask you all to respect. But to the rest of you, I beg an answer. Do we flee? Or do we fight?
Okay, there was no way that I would.
Good. So good.
I mean, my question
Annie
to
Ross,
Mr.
caps off to you.
My question to Hennenlotter is, again, was that the one you were going with? Okay, I see.
That's the take.
That's
Cut
the take.
and print it.
Yep. I just wrote my next note is, please someone kill Artie. So Artie is the photographer.
They do. You know that he was gonna die the second he appeared and was sexually harassing.
Yeah, he oozed onto the screen. Yeah. Like
he was like the toxic sludge in Fern Gully, just everywhere.
Oily, just came in. He's like, and just hitting on Marcy. I want to have sex. His creepy little soul patch under his what? Yep. So Marcy, they're on a stakeout because they do, they're like, okay, well, we know Dwayne and Belial are here, so
they just want to get a photo, get $1 million, and bounce out of there.
Yep. Nope. They're not even gonna call the police. They're just gonna do it themselves. And so she's like, I just need you to get a picture of Dwayne. We're not getting one of Belial because we just can't at this point. It's too dangerous. So he's like, fuck you, man. I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna get in. I'm really gonna bring it because at this point, they're putting it's a trap. That's a trap.
That's a trap. That's a trap.
They because Artie's watching Dwayne talk on the phone, and anybody who was cognizant of anything could watch and look at that. The phone wasn't even fucking plugged in because it was a landline. I was like, oh, that phone's not plugged in. Oh wow, so this definitely is a ruse to get him to
a ruse.
Yes, to get him. It's a little bit of bait to get him across the windowsill, which he does. He climbs in. He starts to go up to the attic, which is one of the funniest fucking scenes in this fucking movie, because. He goes up to the attic and he's got this big ass camera and he starts taking pictures in the darkness and he's like, oh fuck, there's all of the unique individuals are standing around and
he's flashing the camera.
Yeah.
Click, 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 click.
And they keep getting closer. Every time he clicks it, they get closer and closer. And my note was, why don't you just go down the stairs? Just go down there. You got your picture, just go down.
Just go. No. You could have just because it was one of those pop-up floor.
Yeah. The ladders going up into
ladder.
Like Christmas Vacation. Fine. Christmas Vacation. Yep.
even though that's not really accurate the way they put. No, like they had it like legit stairs, and then the
No, it was
you
a
know what I mean?
ladder.
Because
It's a
those there was a ladder, but like in Christmas Vacation, that's the kind where the ladder folds up into.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
in this movie, it was just a board,
yeah. I mean,
but a ladder
that would
leading up
mean
to
that
it.
then in the middle of there
I
was
don't
just
know, but
they had a
whatever.
ladder. Yeah.
It's fine. Um, Technicalities.
Mm-hmm.
By the by, fair warning to anyone who suffers from epilepsy or any other disorder that is affected by flashes of light. This is where it gets real stroby, y'all.
Yeah.
Because of the flashes from the camera, cue the strobe effects.
Mm-hmm. And in fact, yeah, Marcy sees it from the outside, and that's
from
how
the outside.
she sees. Yeah.
Right. And sees, how did I write it? Mercy sees the flashes and shadows of Artie's demise.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see.
So
Yeah.
she's freaked out, and
Freaking
she's
the
like,
fuck out.
"Well," then
Because
she goes,
Belial, because all the freaks, like, and I hate to call them freaks, but that's what they're,
mm-hmm.
So all the people are starting to surround Artie. The flashes are going off. In slides Belial, shimmies Belial
Skeets in.
behind
Not
him.
Yates. He skeets in.
That's right.
Like
And then he
skates, but
kills Artie.
skeets.
Yeah. So then Marcy sees that, books it back to her office, and calls what I thought was her boss, but that's not accurate. She calls his private detective.
We were both confused. I was like, "It's the same guy."
We thought it was the same. I thought it was her boss, because I was like, it was some old white dude. I don't know. They all look the same to me.
And come to find out, 'twasn't.
It wasn't. It was a totally different actor.
Yeah, it was a different actor playing a private investigator. Whoops. Okay. So they decide that they're going to get Dwayne by himself and talk to him. And Phil says, "I once
I
had
got
to
this."
Well, he says, "I once had to liberate a freak. She had," this is because they call Granny Ruth Dr. Freak. "I once had to liberate a freak she had in a commune west." So he says he knows how to handle her and her kind. Yeah.
Cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cute. So
Okay.
they call the house, and they're like, pretty much like, "If you don't meet us, we're calling the police."
Yeah.
So
So they meet up at this bar, and cue detective film noir. Like straight up with saxophone and trench coat.
Yes, I just wrote, "Why is Phil dressed as Deep Throat?"
Phil meets Dwayne and wants to help.
Mm-hmm. He starts trying to convince him, being like, "You're a good-looking guy. You will have women just like fawning all over
normal.
you. You're normal.
Guy.
Yeah. And pretty much like, you'll get all the pussy you want, sort of thing." And he's like, and he seems like he's kind of going along with it a little bit, but then he's like, yeah, like then he says, "But you're normal." He's like, "I'm not normal. Who's to say what's normal?" And he really kind of like, "Look around here. This is normal." And then you start to notice that who's sitting behind Dwayne in the booth.
27 noses.
All of them running. And then you realize that everyone in the bar is full of mutants. They do kill Phil, killed by Belial. Also, Phil's death makeup when he lands on the ground is awful.
Oh.
It was like the worst part of I was like,
yeah,
what? It looks like they just stuck something on his face. Because I will have to say, the makeup in this fucking movie, the creature designs, and I'm using creature designs because that's what they would call it. Creature designs for the mutants are amazing. Like Lorenzo and the large head.
That was
gorgeous.
Pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the makeup got. I wrote Phil is fooled by the bar patrons who are actually the mutants. Phil tries to leave and trips over. Guess what? What did he trip on?
The basket.
What? Oh, he trips on the basket. What's in the basket?
Because Belial has killed, I guess, the staff of the bar.
apparently, yes. Oh,
Yeah.
and I wrote this too right after that. In all fairness, here, as Phil was being killed, I realized, in all fairness, here, Belial is the only one doing the killing.
Yeah.
None of
Yeah.
the other unique individuals are not harming anybody. They're just kind of like doing their thing. They are looming a bit at times just to kind of lure them to Belial,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not doing anything.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Belial is like, but they kind of look to Belial because he's killing these people that mean them harm
Yeah.
as like not their leader, but like their saving grace, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
can see
don't
that.
know. I
Yeah.
just and then I said,
Getting
did
retribution
I
for them. Yeah, I can see that being.
retribution?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
At some point, I don't remember where this was. I think it was in the bar. I said, "Oh, when Phil is yeeted through the door."
Mm-hmm.
I swear I'll have to go back and listen again. I swear I heard a bowling pin sound effect, like bowling ball hitting a pin.
It wouldn't surprise me
I'm
with this
like,
movie.
right, because
Yeah.
the
Camp.
shoes and everything in the
Yeah.
first. It's fine. Um, Ruth loads Phil dies. Ruth loads everybody into the van, and they race to Marcy's apartment. Oh, this
Well,
is great.
the
In
first.
Flushing,
Well, that's what she goes. It figures, and I was like,
it figures.
I was like, I don't know what that means because I actually went back and looked. I was like, so in 1990, because when this film took place, I was like, what was the makeup? Because only reference point I have about Flushing is The Nanny, and I was like, there's a lot of Jewish people in Flushing. I'm like, it was, is that a rip on Jewish people? But then I looked, and it's actually there's a large Asian population. So I have no clue. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, but it was a dig, and I don't understand it. So
I don't know. Dwayne and company break in and confront Marcy, ready for an interview. You wanted an interview, right?
oh, I wrote this whole
Hey.
thing down.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did, because I loved this. So
This
he
is so good.
yeah, she's like, well, I'm pretty much like, I don't really want to meet with Belial, and he's like, well, he was really looking forward to an interview. He figured you could ask him a few questions, get to know him a bit, then he could rip your face off. No big deal.
Dwayne,
Amazing. I have to say, I think Dwayne is a much better actor, or Frank, or Kevin, or what the hell is his name?
Kevin Van Hentenrick.
Yeah, I think he's a better villainous actor than he is. Like, he's
Agreed.
good in this scene. Like, I thought he was decent in this scene. Like, he was a good villain. But when he's working with Susan and that stuff, he's no
He's
bad.
not the everyman. He's supposed to be
Mhm.
in this kind of. He's not. That's not his bread and butter. That's
No,
not his strong suit.
no. Um, also,
IMO Kevin Van Hentenrick.
yeah. Also, I noticed in this one, in this scene, and it made me laugh because they're all like surrounding. So all of the unique individuals, the mutants, are popping up in her apartment because she's like, she can't find Belial. We don't know where he's at because he's not in his regular basket. But I noticed that they all have like crazy faces, but dad bods. So I was like,
Right.
it's all just head. It's all head with them. That's what she said. And and they're all dressed like from a JCPenney's catalog. So, except for that one dude who had to wear the overalls. Huge Arthur. He had to wear the overalls.
We both were like, why? Why do you have to wear those unfortunate clothes?
With that clown shirt, yes. I know.
Honestly.
This is where Frog Boy keeps croaking.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then Dwayne says, hey, what's in the basket? In Marcy's basket.
Yeah, like her laundry basket. Yep. Mm-hmm. And he, of course, Belial eats out of that.
And
I want a quick cut, or like a quick cut of like all of the times he eats out of a basket.
if we could maybe put that together, we could do that.
Yeah, I would like that.
He twists the F out of Marcy's face, and
yeah, I didn't understand that. But
I didn't either, but I guess winds up killing her, maybe. I don't know, or leaves her that way. Who knows?
I think they left her that way.
Makes her a freak too, or whatever. I think they said that.
Yeah, and now you're
Like,
a
now
freak.
you're one of us or something.
Guess what we get now?
Oh,
We're
wait.
gonna go celebrate.
Everyone has a nighttime barbecue.
Freak,
Yeehaw!
freak barbecue. The first person we see is Toothy eating a piece of corn. An ear of corn. It was the grossest thing. I was
Yeah,
like,
it was horrifying.
mm-hmm.
Even the gargoyle is getting down with the BBQ.
Yeah. Mouse guy just squirts mustard in his mouth for no
don't
reason.
say squirt. Ugh. Yuck. Belial. Oh,
Oh. So Granny Ruth
Belial.
asks Susan, where are the boys? Where are the brothers at? And she's like, well, I took Belial upstairs to be with Eve because she's been worried where he hasn't been back.
And they deserve some time
Alone
alone.
time. And they giggle like it is, the two of these ladies giggle like it's the sweetest thing. I was like, they're two ball sacks.
But now they're a pair.
Oh boy, are they a pair. Boy, are they a pair.
Aren't
because
we a pair?
I grab your arm lump and you grab my arm hump. Yeah, it's
midair.
Yeah, we just see them reaching for each other's bumps. I want to look in here real quick. I want to look and see. There's a lot of squeezing. That's funny. There's no parent. Oh no, there is a parent guide. I'd like to know what. Oh, there's moderate sex and nudity in this one. Dwayne and girl make out. Her breasts are seen when her shirt opens up. That's it. I was like, wait, hold on. That's all we get for sex and nudity in the parents guide on IMDb.
Yeah.
2 lumps have
I know full on orgasms,
sex, and and very loud sex.
Yes, they do.
I mean, we get a close up of his fucking face.
Okay.
All I know is Eve's got a leg.
It has a little leg and a little foot.
She does.
So he knows where to go.
And she's only got one arm too, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Belial gets it on with Eve, which Dwayne can feel, I guess.
Yeah.
Boy,
because their connection's back again. Because at one point they start talking telepathically again. When he tells her he's going to leave, the connection has been.
Yeah.
So Dwayne's like, well, if he's gonna get it on, I guess I'm gonna get it on.
Right. So then Dwayne goes to find Susan. And he's like trying to convince her to leave with him, and she's like, I can't leave, and he's like, well, I just love you, whatever. And he tries to make out with her, and she keeps interrupting, and it's like, no, dude, there's something you should know. Yeah. What do we find out, Ray?
Well, she first says, I've had sex before when I was younger, and I was like, well, how the fuck younger? Like right now you look like you're like 25, so what the fuck are you? Yeah,
but you know, he was like, dude, fine. That's okay.
Fine.
Considering what's around us, that is totally fine.
Yeah, like no judgment zone. No judgment zone.
We're good.
The road has been traveled. It's fine.
Right.
Yep.
But then he starts to like unbutton the top button of her shirt, and she's like,
So I need to tell you why I've never left here. And why I can't leave. And he's like,
okay.
And she's like, I'm pregnant. He's like, what? She's been pregnant for a number of years.
6 years. The baby just didn't want to come out.
She has an alligator in her belly, guys.
Yeah, it's a toothy hand
Audrey
puppet.
2 looking Audrey
Yes,
2
it looks like
alligator.
The plant from Little Shop.
And it comes out and it screams at him and then goes back in. She's like rubbing it like
oh, that's just where it wants to live, in my belly.
Yeah,
it's
it
just
needs
my
to come
baby.
out. She says something like it needs to come out for air every so often.
Every now and then. Dwayne loses his fucking shit. Dwayne, I wrote this to Ray. This is my top note. Dwayne, at this point, freaks the fuck out. While intercut scenes, Belial fucks the freak out. Know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So in between where Dwayne is like freaking out in the house, we get cutscenes back to Belial and Eve making sweet,
Sweet
sweet,
love.
passionate love.
They have sex.
Loud, passionate love.
They have sex for a good 3 minutes.
Oh yeah, full on orgasm.
Yeah, for like in the movie, like it normally would be a sex scene would be what 10, 12 seconds or maybe 30 seconds. No, this is like you keep going back to him. It's like, oh, they're still fucking. Okay.
Yep. Nope. Still doing it.
But like Dwayne's losing his shit, and she keeps saying, "Talk to me, please. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me." Like she's being very calm and just being like, "Dwayne, will you please listen to me?" And he's just like not having.
But I think honestly, between him having a possible psychic break and at the same time being cosmically linked to his brother, who is having probably is living his best life right now and having the most amazing orgasm ever.
Yeah,
is fucking with his head, and he accidentally like pushes Susan, and she falls out of the window of the house
right onto the barbecue.
Barbecue.
Yeah, to the barbecue table, and all the freaks are like, "What?" And and Granny Ruth goes, "Find Dwayne." I was like, "Oh fuck, Dwayne. You in trouble." But this is where like Dwayne is done. Like Dwayne
has had it. He's lost it.
Dwayne is no longer here. Dwayne is broken.
He broke. He
goes up.
He goes to get a baseball bat to beat Belial with a baseball bat and take him away. What I thought was take him away from the house, but it's not that. What does he do, Ray? What does he do?
He then grabs what I thought were
this is so
knitting
gross.
needles.
Which,
you can't do this with this, but that's fine.
No.
I mean, whatever. He sews Belial back onto himself.
That now, Ray.
We're beyond that. Yeah.
Suspension of belief.
Right. 2 testicles just fucked. He sews Belial back onto himself, and then laughs maniacally. That's how we end the movie. Is him laughing
maniacal laughter, credits.
Yep.
And awful music. The worst.
This movie is great. The look that Ween is giving me right now makes me think that she doesn't think this is great, but that's okay. Let's do some ratings. Let's rate the fuck out of this shit. Well, what I should say first is there's a third of this. I have purchased it. Yes, I will make you watch it.
I actually, just out of morbid curiosity, I went, and because I saw the trailer.
Yeah, the trailer's like, pretty baller.
Yeah,
it's called Basketcase 3: The Progeny, and from this sex, we discover that there are more Belials coming. So,
what is the tagline? What is the tagline?
We're gonna need a bigger basket.
Yes. So good. So good.
Yay. So
okay. Blood droplets, Miss Ray.
I'm gonna go, what did I say before? 2.5. I'm gonna say 2.5. I mean, it's really not gory. It's
not. No. Yeah. Actually, the first one's a little bit more gory, I think. I'm gonna give this a 1.
Yeah.
Because it really wasn't that bad.
Yeah, you're probably right with the surgery scene. Probably you're probably
particularly
right.
Yeah,
because they redo it. That they actually show that they flash back to that scene again. But yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of in this second sequel. There's a lot of flashbacks because like cheaper.
Yeah. They go Deadly Night, the Silent Night, Deadly Night route. Yep.
Oh yeah. Ghosties.
Oh god, I remember what I said.
Spooky.
The first one. I'm gonna 1. There's like, I mean, I think
it's 0. We could do 0. Like, man, it was not scary. It was full on camp, and I was here for it.
Mm-hmm.
Sex and romance. Sex.
I mean, 4 or 2 ball sacks had sex in like for 3 minutes, and had orgasms. So I'm gonna say 4. Yeah,
that was crazy. I gave it a 2. All right, Cold Black Hearts.
Fucking 4.
I did 3.
4.
Okay. I actually had more fun with this than the other. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, so crazy. Oh,
Okay. All
we
right.
did it.
We
We
did it.
got through it. All right,
So
let's go.
let's do recommendations first, real quick, and then we'll just
Hey,
talk about what's coming up. So, do you have a
cool, cool,
recommendation for
cool.
me?
I do.
Okay.
Um, I had referenced this before, I think in either the episode before this or the episode before that. Um, it was either one or two episodes ago that I mentioned this documentary called, and it is called That Guy Who Was in That
Oh
Thing.
yeah. Oh
Yeah,
cool.
and
Hmm.
it's a documentary that follows 16 actors and two agents. They interview all these people that and detail the ups and downs of their careers in Hollywood when they've gotten so close, or um they get stopped on the street all the time that, oh, I know you from something, no, that's not it. And when it happens a lot, it's very frustrating. And they
Hmm.
actually have a sequel too called I think that the girl that's in the thing or something like that. But
Hmm.
they follow, like, some of the actors are Gregory Itzin, Zach Grenier.
Oh,
I've
Zach
seen
Grenier.
him in a lot.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um Robert Joy, JC McKenzie, Timothy Amundsen. I know I've seen
Oh
him in
yeah, he used to be
it.
on Psych. Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um Zeliko Ivanek, I know I've seen him in a ton of stuff. Bruce Davison has been in a
Hmm.
lot.
Hmm.
Xander Berkeley. Yeah, so like a ton
Xander
of,
Berkeley. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Like I used to think I sort of started to get interested in that sort of concept when I started recognizing actors in certain films. Like Barry Pepper is a great example.
Hmm.
And Barry Pepper, here, let me look up his IMDb.
Oh, he was in
He
Battlefield
was in
Earth.
he was
He
in
was
The
in.
Green Mile.
Hmm.
He was in a ton of stuff. And I was always like, this guy is a really good actor.
Hmm.
Like really good. He should be in more shit and he should have top billing, but sometimes not everybody makes it. I mean,
Hmm.
that's just the reality of it. But yeah, he was in Saving Private Ryan, True Grit, 60, he's been in a ton of shit. Um anyway, but that's a fun documentary and it's kind of cool to watch.
Yeah.
If you're interested in actors, or like, oh, I have seen that guy, or like, about
Yeah, I've
Hollywood,
seen
how
that.
Hollywood runs in general.
Yeah, it's
Um,
very good. I see. It's
yeah.
been a long time, but I
Well,
watched
it
it and
has,
really
and
liked it.
it
Hmm.
came out in 2012. I should probably do
Hmm.
more recent shit, but who the
Well,
fuck
the one
cares?
I'm going to recommend is not recent either. So,
Okay.
well, I'm going to recommend a documentary also.
Okay.
I'm going to recommend a
Copycat.
documentary. Yeah, I know. Well, the only reason, well, this is from 1999 actually.
Okay.
And one of the reasons I'm recommending it is because I'm also recommending the commentary to go along with this movie.
Oh
So
no.
the movie itself is called American Movie, and
You told me.
this movie's fantastic. It is a documentary about an aspiring filmmaker who attempts to finance his dream project by finally completing the low budget horror film he abandoned years before. And it takes place, I believe, in Minnesota. So they've all got like
Oh
accents like
sure.
this. We're gonna
Yeah.
finish Coven. We're gonna go finish
Jesus,
Coven this
Mary and
weekend.
Joseph.
Yeah, but his movie's called Coven. They're like, he's got this one guy in the movie. It's like, or one guy that's working with him. He's like, I
Oh,
believe it's
I've
called.
seen this cover. I used to
Yeah,
work at a Blockbuster ages ago, and I've seen this cover.
it's
Yeah.
really good. And the guy who directed it also directed Firefest, like the one of the Fire Festival
Yeah.
documentaries. He was a producer on Tiger King, so he's been around for a while. But
You've been
it's so
around.
good. Because the other guy, so it's on the cover. There's two guys. There's a real tall guy. He kind of looks like if they cast it today, like Adam Driver would play him. And then the other guy's kind of like a shorter guy, and the other guy's got this. He's got a voice like this, and at one point
Oh,
he goes, you just need some surge. You just need to drink some surge, nice cold surge.
oh my God, Surge
Yeah,
was
it's
such a thing.
amazing. I used to do a lot of drugs. But it was fantastic. You feel for these people, and you actually like. I feel there's something to be said about Mark Borchardt, who it's about, is because like he fucking did it. He did what everyone else wanted. He yes, he made some choices that I was like, maybe I wouldn't have made those choices, with his life, but he did it. Like he went out and he's making money. Like he's still like doing small things. But yeah, so the commentary I'd like to recommend to go along with it is I love this podcast called We Hate Movies, where they talk about bad movies, and they do a commentary every month, and their last month commentary for We Love Movies Month was American Movie, and it was one of the funniest fucking things that I have ever heard, because they're obviously you watch the movie along with them, and it was like it could be you could listen to it alone, but I recommend American Movie too.
Nice.
So, all right, so what is coming up? So next month we are celebrating Black History Month.
Yes.
By we are going to be taking in all of the Candyman movies. So the original Candymans. Well, there's 4 of them. So there's the original 3, with I believe Tony Todd's in all 3 of those ones as titular Candyman, I believe.
Oh, okay.
And then the 4th one, he is not the Candyman, because it is like it's a sequel. It's a future sequel, so it's like it's a reboot. I don't know if that's what they're going to be, if it's going to reboot the franchise, but yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna do 1 and 2, and then we'll do 3 and the new one. So that's what we got coming up, and we have a lot of things coming up but we need to talk about them, so we're not going to share them at this time.
Right. Which I just texted to you. It's my little ongoing list of like what we've got, what I have on the book so far.
Yeah. Because we have, if we do Texas Chainsaw, we really need to talk about, because it'll take us as long as Halloween. If we set it out the way we're setting it out.
Cool.
And that would be the franchises. So you can find us in social media. I know you wanted to bring up something about social media, so let's
yes. We have so I'm new to anything newer than Facebook or different from Facebook, apart from MySpace. So doing this podcast has kind of forced me to at least take a peek into what Twitter does and what it's like, and I still am figuring it out. But Ray is so sweet and patient, and I appreciate you. But I wanted to give a shout out to people who have retweeted us. A lot of people have somehow seen us and called us out or retweeted like yay female podcasts or yay horror podcasts, and or have retweeted the video that I sent. It was so funny. Just a quick thank you to Ken Foree, first of all.
Holy fuck, that was Instagram, but yeah.
That was Instagram. Damn it, I thought it was Twitter. Okay. Don and Ellie,
he's amazing.
Yeah,
who has his own podcast. So
yes.
Did you write it down?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
We got Screaming Through the Ages, Trey Whetstone, Brian Stitcher, I'm assuming these are all podcasts. The Horror Returns, the Bloodlust and Bourbon podcast. Why didn't we think of that?
I know, right? Maybe too. Let's meet up, guys. Let's talk about it.
Sure, good.
Yeah.
THR Screen Fiends, and this is so cute. Grogu's Wellness and Life Coach.
So Don and Ellie's podcast is called Horror Countdown. That's what his is.
That was a Horror Countdown podcast.
Did you say that one?
Okay. No.
Yeah, that's his podcast.
Also fans of
He's
the dead.
Fantastic. So, like he usually does like a horror podcast of the day, and usually puts a whole big list out. So he's pretty awesome about getting representation out there. So I like it. But yeah, and then our website is now up and running. So
yay!
boozeboobsandbloodpodcast.com. And our Instagram. So if you wanted to follow us on Twitter, our Twitter is at boozeboobsandblood, and our Insta. And I'm not even going to bring up TikTok because I fucking hate it. And even though we have one, and we also have we have a Facebook, but just find us on the Facebook. I mean, just look it up.
The Facebooks.
We're there. The Facebooks. Booze, Booze, and Blood. So,
yay.
Yep, that's what it is. Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening, and this has been another delightful edition of the Booze, Booze, and Blood podcast.